Today you join me off the back of a bad episode last time out, a 2-0 loss against Manchester United. We have to claw back in today's semi-final second leg of the Carabao Cup, and then it's a local derby against Tottenham. Welcome to episode 86 of Making Chelsea Stand Proud, and my name is Mark, and on today's episode we have for you those two games, the Carabao Cup semi-final second leg against Manchester United. We are 2-0 down effectively at half time after the first leg, and we got to play at Old Trafford, so no difficulty there at all, I wouldn't have thought. And then, of course, we've got a local derby against Tottenham, match day 23 in the Premier League. And last time we played them, I think it was a 1-1 draw, if my memory serves right. We will have a look at that in due course. Transfer-wise, because we are on the 12th of January in the transfer window, not a lot to tell you. Declan Rice hasn't left. We think going out, he's not showing up on here for some reason or other. We are expecting, he's not appearing on here at all. We are expecting that Victor Roque is leaving us. I think we've agreed to him to go. We're just waiting for confirmation that he has actually gone. So I'm expecting that at some point during the episode. And the other player that is expecting to go is Darnell McCloskey. He's a reserve player. Wing back on the right side. Don't think he's really got a lot of oomph in him. He's got 1-star current ability. He's got potential to be 3.5, but yeah, not going to be in the side anytime soon. And we can get £1 million for him. So I think he could well be on his way, free up a little bit of cash as well. So nothing to report on that front at the moment. Just to confirm, Dewsbury Doyle and Victor Roque. Oh, in fact, Victor Roque has gone. He's there. He's appearing. He's gone to Mainz on loan, 500,000, and I think there is a deal on that at the end of that as well, that they can buy him. I can't remember what the deal was now, but I think there is a clause in there to make that permanent at the end of that loan. So that's all good, and they're paying 100% of his wages, which is also splendid. Right, if you remember at the end of the last episode, we did lose to Wolves. No, we didn't lose to Wolves. We drew 3-3 with Wolves in the FA Cup third round, which means it's gone to a replay. And it does mean that we are in the draw for the fourth round, but not because we won. So what we're going to do now, as promised at the end of the last episode, is we're going to have the draw for the fourth round of the FA Cup. And here we are for the fourth round of the Emirates FA Cup. Let's get the draw underway. There are 32 teams left in the draw. I presume that doesn't include the teams like Blackpool and Reading and Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest and ourselves and Wolves. So we'll see how that goes. Right, let's get underway then. First out, Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest. They will play Leicester. Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest will play Leicester. Huddersfield and Barrow will play Blackpool or Reading. Queen's Park Rangers, they will play Sunderland or Peterborough. A lot of ties going to replays. West Brom, they will play Sheffield United. Fulham of the Premier League will play Stoke of the Championship. Crystal Palace or Manchester City will play Blackburn. Swansea will play Chelsea or Wolves. There we go. We will, if we manage to get past Wolves, we are away in the Principality to Swansea. So I'm not going to draw any more of that. We'll go to the end of the draw, and then what we'll do is we'll show you the whole draw as we normally do. Have a look at some other ties. Swansea and Chelsea and Wolves. Luton, Sheffield Wednesday, Portsmouth. Liverpool are playing West Ham. An all Premier League tie there. Colchester of League One playing Brentford of the Premier League. Norwich, Middlesbrough. Arsenal or Ipswich will play Milton Keynes Dons. And Leeds United will playing Weymouth or Rochdale. Watford will play Manchester United. So there you go. That is the draw for the fourth round of the FA Cup. Let's go and see how that sits in on the schedule. And it's not showing up there. And I suspect the reason it's not showing up there is because of the third round replay. Let's just check and see where that sits in. Fourth round comes up on the 7th of February. 7th of February for the fourth round. Right, so we'll be playing the third round, and if we get through that, pretty much straight after, because there is an international break there as well, which is not particularly good, is it? And we'll be playing the next round of the FA Cup pretty much straight after that. So FA Cup week will come to town in deepest, darkest February. Oh dear, I don't know. Right, back to today's episode. First up, Manchester United. We've met them 9 times previously. Won 3, drawn 3, lost 3. It's all square and even. The only thing is that we have a slightly better goal difference overall. But recently, of course, that loss against them at Stamford Bridge. But when you look at actually Old Trafford, we've never beaten them at Old Trafford. 0-0. 3-3. We lost there 1-0. And we lost 2-1. So the last time at Old Trafford we lost, and we have lost to them before, but we've never beaten them at Old Trafford. Today, we have got to go and beat them at Old Trafford, because if we don't, we won't be in the final of the Carabao Cup for the 5th time in a row, and also for possibly a chance to win it for the 4th time in a row. And before we look at the teams the team that will face Manchester United in the second leg of this Carabao Cup, I can tell you that we've things have moved on very quickly. Declan Rice is about to leave us. He's going to Bayern Munich. 80 million up front, 156 million is the total deal that is going ahead with that. That's almost a definite. We're just waiting on these 2 players coming in technically to replace him, and taking 2 players to replace him is quite a feat. David Fratesi is a 26-year-old. He's at Hertha Berlin. He's a defensive midfielder and a central midfielder. He is we're looking to bring him in for £44 million. And Josko Gvardiol from RB Leipzig, and he's coming in for 88 million. Both of them had release clauses, which we've sprung, and we'll see. So those 2 players potentially coming to replace Declan Rice. We have 1 space in the squad at the moment. Declan Rice going will give us 2 spaces. That will do it. So we've made a tidy profit on Declan Rice, if that is the case, because I think we brought him in for 35 million from West Ham, which was an exceedingly good deal. 80 million up front, and with add-ons, potentially 156 million pounds. That is huge. Right, with that and any more to do, let's have a look at the team that will face Manchester United in this second leg. And this is the team that faces Manchester United in this second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final. A must-win game for us, and this is the team that will face them. Carnaceci in goal, Rice, Timber and Garcia as our backline, Cucurella, Fernandes, Kovacic and James as our defensive, as our central mid. Havertz and Mount are sitting behind. Rodrigo as the attack. Magan and Chilwell, Dewsbury Hall, Tell, Fofana, Koeman, Sterling, Koulibaly and Savic on the bench. And here we are at Old Trafford. They are playing a 4-3-3 with a defensive midfielder. Old Trafford looking very different to what it normally does. And we're playing our flat back three. Confirmation of the teams as the teams come out. And we get a highlight in the first minute. It's a highlight to us. James with the throw in. Garcia to Fernandes. Fernandes finds Timber. Timber has to go back to Carnasecchi, who finds Rice, who's playing our last game for us. Timber, Rice. Rice is the captain today. Garcia, Kovacic, James, Garcia, Rodrigo, out to James, moving it around nicely. Finds Mount. Mount pulls a save out of Henderson in goal. And it's a corner. Mason Mount swings it in. It's back out to Mount. And Manchester United have a free kick. Varane with it. It's gone out wide to Daylott. Daylott crosses it in. Oh, it's gone in. And Marcus Rashford with a header. And they've got a goal early on in the first 5 minutes. And we're going 3-0 behind on aggregate. And that mountain is now humongous. I think, in fact, they're having a new stand built, which is Daylott in defence for Manchester United. And and he's in again. This time Carnasecchi gets the ball. Tries to get us underway very quickly. Rice. Cucurella out there, but loses the ball. And it's gone out wide to Daylott again. Daylott crossing it deep. This time James gets there. Oh, off his feet, whoever that was. Oh, in again. And Marcus Rashford gets his second of the game and puts us 4-0. And I think it's all over. 2 in the first leg, 2 in the second leg. Who was that off his feet? Kovacic. Didn't make contact, which was good news. And Rashford in again. Puts his foot across that. And it's 2-0. And no more highlights. Half-time comes. And, well, we've been poor for 2 goals again. And we are 4-0 down on aggregate at half-time, which means we've got to score 5 in the second half. And I don't see that coming anytime soon. Just can't seem to find a way through. And I don't know whether it's they've just got a good defence or what's going on. They've had 6 shots, 3 on target, 0.95, 38% of the possession. We've had 11 shots, 4 on target, 1.16, 62% of the possession. We should be at least 0-0, if not in front, and get clawing our way back into this tie. But as it stands at the minute, we're on our way out. And a highlight early in the second half, another throw in, James. And we've got to find a way back in very soon here, if we're even to stand a slight chance. Habits, Fernandes, Rice. We've just tweaked the system a little bit at half time, and that headed through to Henderson. And throw out. Timber heads that down to Fernandes. Kovacic looking for... Not sure who it was looking for out here. And it's a goal. Mason Mount, he's 6th of the season. Sorry, I took my eye off it. I was trying to do something. And we'll see it now. He was trying to get it out to James, but Sancho was there. Plays it back. And Pavlic made a right old Horlicks of that. And Mount puts it away. We've got one back early in the second half. Ericsson could put an end to it. It's just gone wide, thankfully. And they have a corner. Ericsson with the corner. It's headed out. Only as far as Ericsson. Ericsson chips it. Sancho trying to get back to amends of mistake earlier on. Pavlic through to Rashford. Rashford looking for his hat-trick. But and with 58 minutes on the clock, making one change. Rodrigo is off. Havertz moves up front. And Savic has come on for Rodrigo. Cucurella with a throw in on that far side. Long throw into the area. It's come out. Kovacic on the edge of the area tries to sweep it in, but he didn't do it. Rashford. Fernandes comes in, steps in. Kovacic. Timber over the top, looking for... presume that was... Oh, it was Mount, actually. But defender heading it back to Henderson. Highlight is continuing. Ball forward. Garcia under that. Kovacic. Mason Mount trying to get there. And Manchester United causing us all sorts of problems. Don't seem to have thwarted them at all. And they come forward again. They look dangerous on the attack. Certainly on the counter. And swept in. It's headed over the top. Room. Long throw. Oh, and a bicycle kick. We haven't seen many of those. It was Dalot with the bicycle kick. Well over the top, though. And our second stoppage for changes. And we're going to make two. Yaron Timber is off in the centre of defence there. He's come off. We've brought on Khalido Koulibaly, taking up his centre in the centre there. And Rodrigo, not Rodrigo, Mason Mount coming off. He is very tired. Has had a good game, got a goal back, but that's all we've done so far. And time is running out. But we've brought on Kieran Dewsbury Hall in his place. And with 75 on the clock, we've made our final changes. Mark Cucurella comes off in a reverse of what we normally do. Ben Chilwell coming on for him. We have replaced Kai Havertz up front with Raheem Sterling. They are our final changes. Henderson with a goal kick to Varane. Maguire. Ericsson, Stash, Dalot, Ericsson, and Sancho in here. He's had a shot, well saved by Karnasechi. No more highlights, it's all over, and we have lost for the second time against Manchester United. 4-1 on aggregate, 2-1 on the day, and Mason Mount, all but a consolation goal on 47. Started the second half, thought we might just get ourselves back in it if we've got two goals fairly quickly. It was on, but it wasn't to be. They thwarted us, blocked us off. We tried our best, but probably our best at the end of the day wasn't good enough. We had 22 shots. We did try lots of shots, peppered them, 8 shots on target. 2.40, so deserved a second goal, really. 60% of the possession. They had 16 shots, 8 on target, 1.67, 40% of the possession. We probably edged it over the two legs of Fernandes getting sent off in the first leg. Didn't help. And, well, yeah, that's the end of our Carabao Cup adventure. Not only for this year, but of course for the series. So bit disappointing to come to a calamitous end at the end of this particular game. But I suppose it had to end somewhere, and it's ended at Old Trafford. Well, there we go. Confirmation of the semi-finals. Birmingham beating Brentford 2-1. That's 4-2 on aggregate. And it's going to be Birmingham, Manchester United in the final of this season's Carabao Cup. A new winner this year. And 2 bits of news. Here is the match momentum. In the first half, Chelsea enjoyed a better time of things. Really should have rammed home and had 2 goals scored against us, which was pretty poor. And Chelsea and their opponents came out of the second half looking relatively well matched. Didn't really make inroads in that second half, did we? And a third goal. That one goal that we got back wasn't enough against the run of play as well. But even Stevens' second half, first half, we should really got the 2 goals back, made it all square as it was. We gave away 2 goals instead. So that's how that is. And in other news, Enzo Fernandez tackle in the first leg has picked up a further 2-match ban. So I'm presuming it's the 3-match ban, but it will only apply to the Carabao Cup. And it does mean that he'll miss the first 3 matches of next season's Carabao Cup. Lucky for us, otherwise he'd have been missing from the final, had we got there, of course. And so we go to our second game of the episode. It's a local derby against Tottenham. And we need to pick ourselves up. 3 games in a row now without a win. 2 losses against Manchester United. And that draw against Wolves, which I suppose we didn't do too bad. We did come back into it. But we really need to pick ourselves up and look better in this. We've got a couple of injuries as well. We already know Kante was out for 5 to 7 weeks with a sprained knee ligament. Rodrigo's hurt his ribs, or got broken ribs in training, and he's out for about 5 weeks as well. So we won't see either of those 2 guys soon. We've played Tottenham, I think, 8 times. We won 4, drawn 3, lost 1. That 1 loss at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium back in 2023. Since then, we've won once at our place, once at their place. We've drawn at Stamford Bridge twice. Last time out, we drew 1-1. And that was it was all at the end of a little bit of a wonky period that we're in now. I think after that game, we seemed to sort ourselves out, and we had quite a decent run, which is how we've got towards the top of the table. We could do with a bit of a turnaround today and put ourselves back in the window. Let's have a look at the team that will face Tottenham in this local derby. And this is the side that will face Tottenham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in the Premier League match day 23. Maganan is back in goal. Akarnasechi not really giving himself a big whatever in his chance against Manchester United. Chilwell, Rice, Garcia and James, as we've dropped back into our usual formation. Rice, as we thought, was making his last appearance for us against Manchester United, but the deal still hasn't gone through at the moment, and he potentially is making his last Premier League appearance for us today. And they're in defence. Just checking which is his best position. Yeah, ball-playing defenders for both of them. Dewsbury, Hall and Fernandes in front of the defence. And then we have Koeman, Otavio and Sterling are the attacking midfield, with Havertz up front. On the bench, it's Karnasechi, Cucurella, Savic, Fofana, Timber, Kovacic, Barbosa, Mount and Tell. And this is how the 2 sides mash up. Spalletti is the manager, and on their team looks like this. Bayindir in goal, Angelino, Bastoni, Romero and Emerson Royal are the defensive line. Bakantur, Bentancur is the defensive midfielder. Bissouma and Dominguez in front of him. Son and Zanillo are the wide players sitting behind Harry Kane. On the bench, we have Dyer, Bernardoni, Holzberg, Pedro, Udegaard, Vanderson, Scarlett, White and Donnelly are the bench. Confirmation of those 2 teams again for you on screen. 13 minutes in, and our first highlight, Chilwell with a throw into Koeman. Koeman cuts inside. Koeman has a go. He's curled it. And Sterling tidying up. 6th goal of the season from Raheem Sterling. And that's a bit better. We're actually scoring goals, boys and girls, which is the thing to do in football, I feel sure. We haven't seen many of it in the last 2 episodes. We did see 3 goals against Wolves, but, I mean, that was terrible. But that's a bit better. Sterling, lovely curl ball, though. And throw in for Tottenham on that far side. And they're moving the ball around nicely. Just really worrying at the moment. Chilwell cut that out nicely, and James sort of cut that out but didn't cut it out well, and nearly tripped him. You have to be careful here, boys and girls. All through his legs, crossed it long, but Zanillo wasn't there. Zanillo's, oh dear, good save by Maganan, back in goal today, and he's crossed there. Minson with the corner, swings it in, and Maganan there again. Quickly gets it out. Rice Garcia. And half-time comes, no more highlights. It's pretty even Stevens at half-time. 4 shots, 3 on target for both of us. They've had a 0.63 on the XG. We've only had 0.39. 51% of the possession against our 49. So they've got a slight edge on us in this first half. But we do have the goal through Raheem Sterling after 14 minutes. We are on the early games today, so the other games playing later, including Manchester City and Norwich. So at the moment, the gap at the top of the table is a little bit better. One other thing to mention is Reece James taking a knock towards the end of that first half. We're going to assess him now at half-time. We may be back with a change before we kick off for the second half. And indeed, we're making that one change. Reece James picked up that knock. He's not recovered that much. So we really don't want to lose him as well. So we're taking him off at half-time. We're replacing him with Yaron Timber. First highlight of the second half, 54 minutes in. It's Yaron Timber throwing in. Sterling picked up a yellow card, I notice. And Havertz gets his 33rd of the season. And Bentancur gets a yellow card. I'm not quite sure what for. We'll see, possibly. Otavio fills it through to Sterling. Sterling crosses it into the area. And Havertz just puts it away. Magadan with a goal kick. Garcia, Fernandes, Timber. Timber comes forward. He's got Sterling there in support. Sterling cuts back. Fernandes flies one over the top. Couldn't get it through. And back to the goalkeeper. A long ball. Garcia under that one. Otavio. Fernandes trying to get Havertz away again. Didn't quite make it this time. Romero doing a good job. And that was Dewsbury Hall getting that ball. Havertz is in this time. Oh, Havertz chipped it onto the crossbar. And with 74 minutes on the clock, we're going to make 3 more changes. Otavio coming off for Mason Mount. Kingsley Coman coming off for Matthias Tell. And we've also taken off Enzo Fernandez for Milinkovic. Savic in central midfield. We are probably going to make him a box-to-box on support. So that's what we're doing. Yep. And we still have one more change to make. And with 83 minutes on the clock, we're making that final change. Our usual change, Garcia. Ben Chilwell comes off and Mark Cucurella comes on. No more highlights in this game. It's all over. Raheem Sterling and Kai Havertz getting the 2 goals to give us a 2-0 lead at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And we're back to winning ways, boys and girls. Mike Magadan having a good day in goal. Shame he couldn't do it against Manchester United, really. Bit of a mediocre general, but Sterling playing well. Rice, who probably playing his last game for us, played well. Garcia and Magadan also playing well. We had 8 shots, 5 on target, 1.32, 47% of the possession. They had 7 shots, 3 on target, 1.06, 53% of the possession. Let's have a look and see what that's done to the table. But what we may do is come back after the round of games. And here is confirmation of the other results. And it's 6 points, the lead over Manchester City as we hit 23 games, which is halfway through the season, I think. 219's 38. No, we're over halfway, aren't we? 19 was the halfway point of the season. 6 points is the daylight. We remain at those 6 points clear at the top. Manchester City in second then at 54 points. Then Liverpool third on 46. Liverpool winning against Sheffield United 1-0. Arsenal are in fourth. They move up to fourth, having won today 2-0 against Wolves with 38 points. Manchester United with 2 games in hand, which means that will be 43 points. They would be up into fourth place. If they win their both the games. They won 3-0 today, and they've seemed to have hit a rich vein of form all of a sudden. So they're the team to watch, really, as they come up through. Southampton and Newcastle are in the other European places as it stands at the minute. Tottenham just outside, of course, losing again today, the 8th loss of the season. Norwich, Aston Villa and West Ham are still in the drop zone. West Ham getting ever further away from safety. And that's the end of the episode. At least we've got back to winning ways. And in the Premier League, having had a bit of a torrid time in the domestic cups over the last 3 games. But it's good to get a green blob back on the old sheet here. We're coming back in the next episode. It's going to be tough. We have 2 Champions League games coming up. Freiburg first in the next episode, then Stuttgart in the episode after that. Freiburg, we just need to win both of them really to stand any chance of getting through to the last 16 without having to go through the playoffs. And then we have a challenge against Manchester City, because one or two things is going to happen. Either they're going to close the gap on us, or we're going to open that gap up more, depending on the result. A draw, I suppose, would be a fair result because it stays pretty much the same. But we'll see. It's going to be a bit of a tall order when we get to that game. First, playing second. It's in the next episode. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification button. That keeps you up to date with all future episodes of Chelsea Stands Proud and our other series, of course, To Be a Legend, and new series as they are released here on this channel. New episodes of Making Chelsea Stand Proud, currently released every Tuesday and Friday at 4:15 p.m. And if you want to keep up to date with all that's happening on this channel, you need to follow me on Twitter at JustOffside2. Don't forget to do it. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you for the next episode. It's going to be episode 87. It's out on Tuesday. Have yourself a great weekend. Until then, goodbye.